Thank you for your time, Patrick. I enjoyed this. I laughed. I shrunk back from the screen. It was terrific. When you
Thank you.
have when you have a film like this that is definitely not lacking in the star department, there are a lot of big
Mhm.
names, but everyone has their moments, their key moments. What's the key to making sure everyone has their moment?
I think it's always a question of motivation, and that's something certainly especially working in the ensemble, sort of where this franchise is an ensemble cast. And then I think the most important thing is just always going back to, well, what's their motivation in this scene, and then that helps you identify, because everyone wants something, and that want has to come in conflict because that's where the story is. So that actually makes for a really fun sort of process of screenwriting of like, how do we make all these guys come into conflict with one another, and what sort of dynamic can we bring to it? But yeah, it's a lot of fun to write for, and it's a lot of fun to prep and watch it play out, especially with the level of cast we have. I mean, they're all incredibly talented, and essentially I just feel like I'm building that sandbox for the actors to play in it.
For sure.
I get to sit back and watch the magic sometimes.
It is magical. I mean, terrific cast. We get to pick
Mm.
up with our friend Michael Bryce here, endearing, clumsy bodyguard who is good at his job and he's trying to find that next layer in life. Usually, those types of characters are so one dimensional, and he's anything but
Yeah.
that. When you connect with the Michael Bryce character and maneuvering throughout the film, what do you enjoy most about seeing his journey from where we saw him in the first film to where he is now and what his new
Oh,
responsibilities are?
because he's I love Michael Bryce because he's that classic. It's almost narcissism, right? It's like he's in search for the external to fill the internal void. He thinks that this validation from the outside world's going to make him feel better about himself, and so he's constantly reaching for it, but he's never going to get it because he's a suffering fool, and he's a man child in that aspect. And that's something that I have a lot of fun exploring, and I know Ryan does as well, because Ryan's not afraid to show that vulnerability. Because like Michael Bryce is really good at his job, and he'd be a really nice, probably a pretty cool guy to hang out with if he wasn't so, if his head wasn't shoved so far up his own beep, like. But on that aspect, it's like Sonia Kincaid, like Salma Hayek's character. I mean, she's clinically crazy, but she lives in her essence, and it's like I'd rather hang out with her because at least she speaks the truth, even though there's no filter. At least she's honest, and I think that thing of being honest with oneself. So that's sort of the, I think the fun that Ryan and I have with playing with the Michael Bryce character is, this guy's just in complete denial about who he is and where he is in his life.
For sure. I was telling Selma earlier, I've never enjoyed so much seeing someone cuss somebody out in so many different ways. I learned a few new things myself. Can you get through those scenes when she's doing that? She told me she had to improv a lot of stuff so she wouldn't say it
Yeah.
over and over again. Can you get through without laughing? Because she
No.
killed me.
No. I mean, I get in trouble all the time because I ruin the actors' takes, and it's probably it is. As a director, it's probably highly disrespectful to laugh during actors' takes and to break their characters. So I'm not kidding. Like they had to move me outside the studio doors and move my monitor away from the location because if anything, I get such a thrill and a joy out of watching all these elements come together, and I just find it hysterical, the situations that we put these characters in.
I love that. I love that's perfect because despite the fact that there's booms and killing, it is a very joyful film and it's very, very
Yes.
funny.
Thank you.
I thank you so much for your time. This is a terrific film. I
Oh,
enjoyed every
excellent.
second of it. Thank you again.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care.